Welcome to upstate New York, Syracuse University, and under the dome today we have a terrific clash in store. We've got a sensational matchup for you. Fans have been filing in and getting ready for this game, as we'll see a team from the American, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, taking on a team from the ACC, the Syracuse Orange. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Syracuse will kick off and we'll be underway. Here's the return from inside his 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Looking for room, it's Richardson. Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. From the gun, give on the inside. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
To the air, it's Hayes. Snagged in the middle, it's Booker. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down. That's exactly what they told us they wanted to limit, yards after the catch, and it pays off on this play.
And especially in these situations in 3rd down when you know the ball's going to come out fast, understanding that, breaking on the football, going, making the tackle, and forcing the 4th down.
Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. The give to the back. They stop him cold, maybe gets a yard to the 34.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Got the quick pass. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
Yeah, and he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
The Orange now facing a 3rd and short. They'll try to get it through the air. Catch in the middle. It's Cook.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on 3rd down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
Syracuse ready to go to work with another 1st down. They'll move the wide receiver. Caught in the backfield. It's Cook. Oh, he's got some space. Knocked out of bounds after a good gain on that one. They'll spot it at the 43.
Well, we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
Syracuse has a really nice drive going. They'll test the right side. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Wants to go up top. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45. And there is a little more difficult to defend than pressure right up the middle, and the big nose tackle brings it there.
And he starts right on the football. A lot of time he gets double teamed, right? Because he's right there and you got the guards next to him, but the big fella just uses his power, overpowers the line, gets to the quarterback, and gets the sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Unleashes one. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Really nice job there by the defense, because I think they baited the QB into trying to fit that one in over the middle of the field. Remember, it's a big zone coverage. They've all got their eyes on him back there in the pocket, and they just let him feel like, maybe I can fit this football in. Not so fast. They come away with the pick.
Makes the pass. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass.
Well, that DB basically could have just ran that route for the wide receiver. He was all over him. There was no shot that receiver was going to be able to make that play. Beautiful job by the defensive back.
So now it's 2nd and long. He'll do it himself. They could have used a little bit more there. Pick up of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. He's got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
Tulsa will be forced to send out the punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Kick is in the air. Catch is made at the 15. He'll get it out to about the 20-yard line, and that's where they'll mark him down. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. They turned it over with an interception on their first drive of the game. We're still looking for our initial points of the game. Using his legs, it's James. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. The screen, and watch out. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
The quick passing game does several things. One, it doesn't let the pass rush get you. Those great defensive linemen, the ball's coming out so fast they can't get there. And then what else? It gets me ahead of the sticks. I don't have to worry about getting in long yardage in predictable situations.
They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. Grab near the sticks. It's Cook. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
Shotgun fundamentals are so key. He was like a shortstop. Caught the shotgun snap and right away rifled it out of his hands like he was turning two. That was beautiful.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's James. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back. Just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
The Orange just need to get some of that yardage back here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Shows him the stiff arm. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
You know, the short passing game is a great go-to weapon for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, obviously, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play you. So for coordinators, this can really open up the rest of your playbook for the rest of the game.
Syracuse lines up on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Catch in the middle, it's Gill. Breaks into the open. Ripping through the defense and getting it all the way down to the 24-yard line.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
Finds his man. It's Ross Simmons. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one.
Man, this guy is so dynamic, and that's why you want to try to get him the ball as many ways as you can. That time it's a screen throw, and he had some nice blocks downfield, but with his speed and elusive running ability, this dude is dangerous.
Syracuse comes to the line on 1st and goal. Pushes toward the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Cuse.
I love running backs that have a nose for the goal. Understand how to get there, finish strong into the end zone, know I get 6, and then go celebrate with your boys.
They get set for the point after. We have the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. So it's an 80-yard drive. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Together here as they start from their own 21. Out out of the gun. The inside handoff looking for a crease. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
Guys, we're at the end of the quarter, and Syracuse has the lead. And we've come to the end of one. And let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. Back to pass, it's Hayes. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Defense came on the field with fresh legs, and here on just the second play of the drive, they're able to get a sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. Trying to beat the D deep. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down.
Well, we know this offense hasn't been able to get it going on the ground so far in this game. Now they're trying through the air, but give this defense credit. They've got a really good game plan. They've got all 11 guys on that side of the ball executing perfectly. Fantastic job in the back end that time, being in position and making sure that thing fell incomplete.
There he goes. Open it up. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
It was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Wants to go up top. Quickly complete. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
The Orange now facing a 3rd and short. Trying to pick it up on the ground. Gets it inside the 5, and now it'll be 1st and goal from the 4.
It's hard to stop great runners. It really is. That's why you run the football consistently. You got a big offensive line, a big physical unit. You run the football like this, man, it will take a toll later. But you got to tackle this guy over and over again who has this ability to make people miss and make big plays.
Syracuse comes to the line on 1st and goal. Here we go. Now on the option. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete. Can the defense stop him again on 2nd and goal? Wide receiver comes in motion. The give on the inside. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Syracuse. Effective offense, leading the way here and establishing this lead.
And that's how you draw it up, right? You want to come out, get clicking early, get everything going, way to get all the facets rolling. The defense right now on their heels, they have no answers. The offense doing whatever they want.
And they did tack on the extra point, by the way, knocked it right down the middle. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside his own 15, looking for room. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Get another look at this Tulsa offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point. And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Tulsa with the playbook wide open here on 2nd and short. Dropping back, it's Hayes. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Tulsa trying to power ahead on 3rd and short. They'll try to get the first through the air. Grab near the marker. It's Presley. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job of it.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, they're just trying to run the ball, but that time there was absolutely nowhere for the running back to go, and as a result, that's a tackle for loss.
The Golden Hurricane way behind the chains here on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Throws to the tight end. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
You know, it's a good decision by the QB because his intended target wasn't open, so throw it out of bounds, and you can live to play another day here on this drive.
The Golden Hurricane needing a huge chunk play to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Pressure coming. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
Man, this defense is dominating all game long. They have been making this quarterback's life so difficult with their pass rush. They bring him down there for the sack. They're not giving anything up. They're leading this game by a lot. We're only in the 2nd quarter, and this ain't going to change unless this offense can find a rhythm.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Give to the single back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds at the 34.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Lining up from the 34 on first down. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create 2nd and short, 3rd and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
Syracuse ready to go to work with another first down. They'll give it to him again. Breaks the tackle. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
Well, it's clear the coaching staff had a little conversation before this drive, and they said, we have got to run the football. All 4 plays of this drive so far have been runs, and they're taking a bit of an attitude shift here. They want to be physical, and they want to pound the defense into submission.
Tight end now in motion. Gonna run it. It's James. Touchdown Orange! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Now you always want to get the home crowd jacked up and get them excited. Get out to an early lead, and they have 20-0. Defense playing well. Offense playing well. They got a lot to cheer about here at home.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And it was capped off with the 8-yard run. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Looking downfield, it's Hayes. Fires to the middle. Not in lockstep there with the receiver.
Well, there was something the quarterback liked in the pre-snap there, thinking his primary target was going to have a favorable matchup, but the defense did a nice job disguising that look. They got more bodies over to him and forced the incompletion.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Got a man, it's Richardson. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to get him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
Here comes the heat. And the heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
high and away, headed toward the sideline just the way he drew it up. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. First play of this drive will start from the 31-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Got it set up on the outside. There he goes. The tag. Touchdown, Cuse. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Well, this thing's turning into a rout. It's turning into a rout quickly. Really nice job by the offense there, but it's not just them. Their defense is getting it done. Their special teams are getting it done, and it just feels like they're really feeding off of this home crowd and their energy. This has been the definition of home field advantage in this football.
They're set to kick it off, and you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Looking for space, it's Richardson. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. That's going to wrap it up here in the first half. Stay tuned. Second half not too far away.
That's the end of the first half. With the score, Syracuse 28, Tulsa.
He'll put toe to leather and get this second half started. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Let's see if they can keep that first half momentum rolling. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Man, when you go into the half and you're down, like that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their guys, and I like the way they started this second half so far. Physically, flying around, doing a great job stopping.
Turning it on! Got enough for the first. Coming through that third down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Leaves it with the running back. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
At halftime in this locker room, there was a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead, but you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here, and I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
They're looking for an advantage to the right. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right, things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Syracuse needs to come up with a big third down play to keep the drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws for the tight end. He's got an open man. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, there are a lot of offenses out there that will probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the third quarter. But when you've got the playmakers these guys have at the skill positions throwing the football, you should keep airing it out, and that's exactly what they're doing now.
Looking for a gap. It's James. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And you hear about run blitzes. This is exactly what a run blitz is. When you know the ball's coming up the middle, you want to bring those linebackers, get them closer to the line of scrimmage, and fire. Right when the ball snapped, he's coming downhill, doing a good job creating a loss. That linebacker really knew it was going.
Got enough space. Touchdown, Syracuse. How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option? He has spent a lot of time in that end zone at an absolute assault on the scoreboard.
No doubt about it. And guess what? I get to make a lot of highlights. I can copy and paste all of these touchdowns, show everybody the game I had. And the defense, well, you're just going to have to shake your head because you've been getting dominated.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Hand off from the shotgun. That keeps the running game churning. Pickup of 5 to the 23.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
They'll send the back in motion. To the air, it's Hayes. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
And everybody in the stadium knew that was going to be a pass, right, guys? And it's third down. You're trailing by so many points right now. And the defense is just smelling blood in the water. They're like sharks out there right now, getting after the quarterback. They've been doing that all game, by the way, and that's a trend that looks like it's just simply going to continue.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Looking for a crease. It's Willis. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. They think they can create space here with the run to the right. And he's got enough for a first down. Now to see if they have enough time to snap it again here in the third. We've come to the break, and it's Syracuse on top. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth quarter comeback. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Let's go! Leaves it with the back. Not a whole lot of room to run. Let's give him a couple.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Man, defense is about getting off the football. And when that defensive line can be disruptive, get in the backfield right away and mess up those pullers actions on those counter plays, it can be really advantageous for the defense. Great job by the defense being hyperactive.
The Orange with a lot of work to do on 3rd and long. To the ground with the back. Shakes off the defender. He's brought down at the 49. That is well short of the first down.
Offense facing 4th down.
The Orange will have to punt. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. What a great job on that kick, bouncing it out of bounds inside the 10. The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Found a little space. He'll pick up 6 of the 14 as they have room to operate.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
They'll go to the counter. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Ball spotted at the 21. It's first down. They'll go with a direct snap. Maybe picked up a couple. He's down at the 24.
Got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Don't tell that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
Receiver going for the edge on the jet sweep. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, this defense knew coming into the game they were going to see some of these jet sweeps, and they were ready that time. Great job communicating before the snap. Everybody had their eyes in the right place, and they're able to tackle the receiver for a loss.
Looking to throw, it's Hayes. Grab near the marker, it's Booker. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. Tulsa moved the chains by keeping it on the ground. They might go right back to it here. Motion from the wideout. He'll take it himself. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
And I think this offense is all but surrendered, right? Like they're down so much. They need to be throwing the football if they want to score a bunch of points to get back in this game. But they got to find something moving forward, man. This was a rough day. This was not a great offensive performance. They got to bounce back the next opportunity, the next moment. Because today, oof, it was not a good day.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. And the quarterback will take a sack back in the 36.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man, doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
Chains keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. That ball's incomplete. They had the screen all set up, and he couldn't hang on to the ball. Tulsa will be forced to send out the punt team.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation.